back. Oh, we did that together.
Jinx.
Yes, we are back, and here's a new episode. This is our
Drawing up, putting up the ceiling.
drawing up the ceiling.
We're drawing up the... Just leave me alone. The ceiling's going up, and I drew some lines.
She drew the lines.
I drew the lines.
It was an important job. Anyway, you'll see. She drew the lines. Anyway, this episode is about putting our ceiling ply up onto the ceiling. Before we put the battens on, we have to get the ceiling ply up, all done and dusted, with cables through and all that kind of stuff. So that's what this episode is about. So enjoy.
Voila.
Here I have 4mm ply. This is going to be our kind of base for the roof, the ceiling, and then on top of that we're going to run our strip wood on top of it. But this is going to provide us with the kind of very first layer. So what I need to do with this first of all is get it stained. So got all my red cedar battens. And now what I need to do is just, I've already done it on a couple, just give them a wee plane down, and then take the belt sander to it. So as you can see, well hopefully you can see, this is one I've planed already, nice and smooth, lovely bit of grain. So just got to do that on all the rest of them. The mill finish is a little rough, as you can probably see from that. I have recruited some help.
Who is the cows?
Oh yeah. There they come. Yeah, we're doing the ceiling. The ceiling board, I'm halfway through it already, but I thought I'd better do a bit of an intro. So stained one side, holes cut out for the lights. The MaxxFan's got a hole loosely sort of cut for it. I'm going to play with that in a minute. And
because of that, because you're not keeping the white plastic.
Yeah, I don't want to keep the white plastic for the MaxxFan. Ideally, it'd be better if we're going to have like a piece of our cedar going around the roof, ceiling, and then have our nice cedar battens come off that. Okay. So this plies for the ceiling. I've needed some help, so
I can't see myself on there.
there she
I'm
is.
all the way down there.
Yeah. You're going to be really useful putting the ceiling up.
Long arms.
Long arms, okay. So what you're seeing here is Meeks drawing lots and lots of lines onto the back of ceiling ply, and this is so that we can then use a drill and drill through the ply to find where our fixings are going to go. But also how this helps is when we actually screw the ply up to the ceiling, we can then lose the screws by covering it with the strips of cedar wood that's going to go up there. And what I'm doing is I'm just making a shroud for the MaxxFan. Alright, as my other camera's run out of battery, I've not been able to do a time lapse for this bit, but here we have ceiling up down this side where we're going to have another piece in there. I've glued in some little sections of 4mm, and then we're going to pleat that onto there. And this is the next piece to go up, which is for this skylight and the two lights that we have here and here. So yeah, let's crack on. Alright, so that's the next panel up. There's not a lot of support over on this side because I didn't put anything in there because I've got a unit that's going to be running from the corner of the van all the way down over the kitchen to the other end. The support for that, sorry, the support for the ceiling is going to come from that, and the support from that is coming from the walls, and a batten that I'm going to run it down the top of here, which is going to be fixed through to the metal ribs. Only me. So in this corner again, we've got no support up there, and I realised I made a mistake, a little mistake. I didn't run my support on the ceiling over to this side where there isn't going to be any cupboards. So for now, what I've done is I've just on the back of the ply, it's very lightweight ply, it's only 4mm. I've put a load of glue and essentially bonded it up to the ceiling. I then put these props in just to hold it in place. Now I realised that the glue is then sticking against the vapour barrier, and the vapour barrier is also glued to its above kind of substrate, you know, the Celotex. So yeah, I'm not overly happy with leaving it with glue, but I think what I've decided to do is, as these panels come up here, I'm just going to make sure that as the panel rolls up, it's going to have a taper on it, feed across to here, and provide it with the support from there. And that's basically it, really. But like I say, it's only 4mm thick. It's really lightweight. So yeah, it doesn't need a lot of support, but it just needs something more than what I've just used. So I'm just going to give you an overview of where we're at whilst my little gluey bits are being stuck. You can see that's my roof light window, and my 4mm ply is trimmed around it. This is all good to go now. Essentially into here there's a shroud thing that kind of goes up and in. Oh, let me clean my lens a little bit, a bit of dust on there. It's a shroudy thing that kind of clips up on the inside of here, and that contains the fly screen and the blackout blind, and that's all now good, so that can actually be installed. That sits down around about 12-13mm, something like that, from the ceiling, from this dark material, and what that will mean then is the planks of cedar will then feed into it. The only thing I'm a bit disappointed with the Skylight is that the shroud thing is kind of like an off-white. It looks a bit cheap. I'm not particularly happy about that. So what I want to do is try and paint it, or maybe spray it up or something, but I know plastic and paint don't go very well, especially not because it's like a mottled plastic. It's not like smooth where you can key it up properly and then give it a coat. Yeah, I don't really know what to do. I'll have to get on the internet and seek some advice. But other than that though, this is where we're at. So this is the 4mm ply, and this has been stained with some Osmo stain. I forget what the actual colour is called, but it's like the darkest you can get that's not black. But it's got a nice richness to it. So currently it's just had the stain. After the strips go on, I'm going to varnish the whole lot with a matte varnish. Well, we'll call it matte. It's the softest sheen you can get. So the idea of it is then it'll give a nice shadow gap effect. I think you guys will have all seen this already a million times by other people. It's just, I'm kind of just making it up as I go along. I've not actually looked at any advice for this online because, well, I was a chippy, so it seems to make sense that I should just use my intuition and experience. Yeah. So what I did notice is because my little opening was getting loads of crap in there, I've now put a little screen up there. Means I can hear the kids, but I can't see them so much. But yeah, this is where we're at. So progress, indeed, it is progress. Hello. So I have made a box for my MaxxFan, and I'm just sticking it up now. I've got some sticks like shit, sticks like And if you can see up there, I've already run a bead across the plastic. So you can just about see the clear bead of the mastic up there. And I'm going to do that all the way around and then just push this up. And fingers crossed that's going to hold it. All right, so it's up. There it is. I think it looks pretty smart. So, as you can see, there's enough kind of droppy downiness here for my battens that are going to go on the ceiling to go across, and they should finish just about flush, and if not flush, then, you know, there'll only be a couple of mil in it. I've used this little bit of ply just to screw it up while the glue goes off. I've run a bead around the outside as well, just to make sure that it stays, and then just on the places where it's a little bit gappy on the inside, I've just run, where were we there? Just run a little bead up on the inside of there as well, a bit of clear sticks like. So yeah, all good. That's good. Happy.
I drew the lines.
She drew the lines.
Hope you enjoyed that episode.
So the lines are really important, and it sounds a bit crazy. It was just a very time-consuming job, and it's probably not very clear on the video, but actually we varnished. We stained one side, and then on the top side, obviously, is where, oh God, how do you explain it? We've got battens on the ceiling behind all of the insulation and the vapor barrier. And so then we needed to draw onto the ply on the top where the battens were, so that we could drill little pilot holes through, put the ply up, and then screw up from underneath. But even more importantly, to cover all those screw holes, we needed it all lined out so that where the when the ceiling board goes up, there's going to be a strip of cedar batten covering it. So thinking about covering the screw holes at this point, to then in the future when we put the ceiling battens up, to hide all the screw holes. I know.
Very well thought out.
Yeah, just a real pain in the bum.
That's why I had to do it.
But I was able to get on with lots of other productive stuff while she was drawing the lines. Yeah, so the next episode following this up is us putting the walls up inside the van. So this is the good bit. This is where it all starts taking shape now. So
we will see how much room we'll actually have. Will we fit or won't we fit?
And we'll see how big the bathroom is. It is where I like to spend a lot of my time.
Oh.
Anyway, so yes, that's the next episode, and things I promise will get a little bit more interesting from now, but I hope that previous episode was useful for you all.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you very much for watching.
You've forgotten that. Oh no, you didn't forget. There she goes.
There
she goes.
Like and subscribe.
Ooh.
Till next time.
Bye.